Everybody, and welcome to our webinar on how to use Microsoft CRM to transform your marketing efforts. And we're pretty much on time, so we're just going to get a couple of things out of the way. If you do have any questions, you can put up your hand. There you should see a hand that you can click on your dashboard, and you can also type any questions that you may have. I believe there is a question panel there for you. And I guess without further delay, I'll introduce Ryan Mullaney, President of Assistis Corporation, and he is going to give you some great information about marketing and Microsoft CRM.
Thank you, Stacy, and good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us today. I'm going to start with a very short PowerPoint presentation, and then I'm going to actually get into a live demo and show you some of what we can do with Microsoft CRM 2011, specifically using it for marketing a business or an organization. What I wanted to sort of set some parameters around this is that what I'm trying to do today is show you basic marketing. As a CRM consultant for a lot of years, I just wanted to kind of highlight that there's a lot of marketing potential within the CRM product from Microsoft, and it's very rare that I see it used correctly or well or at all. I like to refer to it as the best kept secret of the Microsoft CRM product. So the agenda today is I'm going to quickly introduce Assistis, introduce the Microsoft CRM product, discuss a basic marketing process, then the majority of the webinar will be a live demonstration of me setting up some marketing and describing it as we go through. And then I'll do a quick conclusion and a summary, and we'll have you out of here. The intent is to have this particular webinar completed within about 50 minutes. And as Stacy said, please just use the raise hand button if you have a question. We have to keep everybody on mute mode, otherwise the background noise tends to get a little bit ridiculous. Okay, so Assistis Corporation was started in 1999 by myself. We are, as far as, nobody's ever challenged me on this, so I could be wrong, but as far as I know, we are the first Microsoft certified CRM partner in Canada. I was certified as a CRM consultant in 2003. Our first production implementation of Microsoft in Canada occurred here in Calgary. It was also the largest sale at the time. It was well over 100 users, which was a bit of a challenge for a very first implementation. We've won Microsoft Impact Awards, most recently in 2005. We were runner-up nationwide for CRM Solution of the Year, and in 2005 we won the CRM Rookie of the Year Impact Award. Some of our customers you can see below. We tend to focus on construction, manufacturing, and public services, but really for the intents of marketing, what I'm going to show you today is generic enough that you can see it from any particular, you can use it in any particular function. Microsoft CRM. It's released by Microsoft in 2003. Current version is Microsoft CRM 2011. It works in Outlook. It also works on the web client. And there's some pretty exhaustive mobile device integrations that are available now as well. There's a lot of different deployment options. You can have a rent as you go kind of model with the cloud. There's also a separate hosted option if your needs are a little more sophisticated, but you can still have it hosted in a data center. And of course, you can also have an on-premise implementation using servers. Microsoft CRM is really the best tool for conducting marketing, for doing sales, and for customer service. It plugs into many of the Microsoft Dynamics ERP products with a bit of integration software. Again, it's going to depend a lot on your needs if you're looking for integration to an accounting package such as Microsoft Dynamics GP, AX, NAV, or SL. Marketing. So where this came from is our own marketing efforts were a bit substandard, and we really needed to have a more consistent marketing model to acquire new clients and customers as well as support our current customers. Some of the parameters that we determined we needed were it had to be simple to use, it needed to be measurable, it needed to be efficient because we have a very small marketing team here consisting of one person. I wanted the cost to be kept quite low, just simply because I didn't have a huge budget for marketing. I wanted to allow for some experimentation. A lot of marketing, once you get the parameters set up, of course, is a lot about experimentation. Does this work? Does that work? That sort of thing. And then, again, I wanted it to be usable in Outlook, in a number of different web clients, as well as mobile devices. So when I started thinking about what I wanted to do to market my own company, I did a little sort of research, and I always try to find sort of either some kind of basic methodology or best practices I can use, to kind of ground things before I get too crazy in setting up all kinds of CRM automations. So the process we adopted is a fairly straightforward one. Anybody who's taken a Marketing 101 course has probably heard the term AIDA, which stands for attention, interest, create desire, and compel action. The one I added to the front of that is identify target personas, or the other way you can look at that is just segmenting your market. So what we try to do here is we're trying to use a repetitive cycle of marketing where we identify a target persona. So it might be somebody such as a sales VP or a business owner, something along those lines. We want to get their attention. That can be done in a number of different ways, but normally what we're talking about is some kind of outbound marketing channel, such as email, LinkedIn, telephone marketing, whatever seems to work best to hit that particular persona. And of course, you can use combinations of the two. Third thing is, of course, we need to trigger some interest. That is normally captured within a CRM as a response, and we'll certainly get into what that means. Some of you replied, and that's what we tracked as a response, in fact, for this particular webinar. We then have to create some kind of desire. That can be an offer, that can be, hopefully the successful results of a webinar, an event, a trade show, that sort of thing. And then finally, of course, we want to qualify the lead and hopefully assign that to our sales team and compel some kind of an action, to monetize the process. And then we repeat. So, having said that, and having found sort of a base process or methodology that we could, develop from, what we then decided to do was take a look at, okay, what have we got within CRM that we can use to manage each one of these stages? And what we have is a process stage for identifying target personas. We have CRM marketing lists, and I will certainly touch on that in great detail during the demonstration. But CRM marketing lists are great because you can actually segment your market in all kinds of different ways. You have an unlimited number of marketing lists, and your contacts and your leads can be assigned to as many marketing lists as you want to. Capturing their attention, again, CRM has marketing activities, and these are things like emails, telephone activities, landing pages for your websites, that sort of thing. Triggering the interest, we can capture marketing responses. So if somebody replies to one of your outbound emails, then the system will capture that, assign it to a particular campaign, and track your success rate. Finally, of course, we create desire. This is where we start qualifying the lead, making the offer, and then assigning it to sales at the appropriate time to do so. And then obviously we want to compel action. So we have a CRM lead and a CRM qualification process. So in preparation for this demonstration, what I would like to do is just present a scenario where I'm the marketing manager for a camera wholesaler. I'm about to attend a commercial photography trade show. The trade show objective is to generate qualified leads for assignment to sales, and my secondary objective is to develop a marketing list or to enhance my marketing list with relevant contacts. My success criteria is I must meet ROI targets. I've got a budget to work within, and I need to track and stay within that budget. Before I jump over to the CRM, though, I'd like to show you an example of a dashboard that we put together that tracks all this information and what the results have been for one of our clients. And you can see here that this is for fiscal year 2012. For the month of April, now I've scrambled all these numbers or changed them all around, so this isn't, I'm not releasing any confidential data, it's fiction at the moment. And you can see here that this is a live report that we're pulling out of CRM, and what it is it's tracking new suspects that we've created. It's tracking how many outbound marketing activities we did in the month of April, how many interested registrants we had, how many of those attended one or more of our events, what our total response rate was, our conversion rate, how many opportunities were created in the month, opportunities that were won, what our close rate is. And then we did the same thing again for quotes. And then you can see also that we just tracked how many new accounts we got in the month of April, and then what our total gross revenues were as far as booked sales revenue is concerned. And you can see down here that I've just represented that graphically, as a series of little charts here. This actually was all created in Excel. It was a requirement of the customer that it be done so because they wanted to take it and have a live report that every time they opened it, it would actually connect to CRM, update the numbers, and then they did additional processing and analysis. But they really wanted a report that they could take and pass off to their analysts without necessarily giving them access to CRM. So that's what this report was able to do for them. Okay, so on to the demonstration. If you have any questions, this might be a good time to hit the hands up button. And I will switch us over and we'll get started with the demo in Microsoft Outlook. Okay, if there's no questions, then I will get started on the demonstration. What you're looking at is a version of Microsoft Office Outlook 2010 that has had Microsoft CRM 2011 integrated into it. So what this means is, like we have a normal Outlook with a normal inbox. These are just email messages in an account. This account, by the way, or this email system is actually being hosted by Microsoft Office 365, which is another cloud-based application that we support. None of this is running on any local servers. It's all cloud-based applications at this point. So how do we know that we're actually using CRM right now? We can go up here and you can have a look at the menu and you can see we've got a new CRM item. What happens with Outlook is that you can actually, when you create a CRM server or an instance, you can download the connector and it'll actually pretty much automatically integrate the entire Outlook system to your CRM server. There's very little configuration that you need to do. So down the left-hand side, we've got our standard Outlook folders that most people are familiar with. And then below that, you can see I've got an Assistus Demo CRM, and inside that are all my folders that I need to navigate and move around within CRM itself. So literally, there is no separate application if you don't want one. If you have a need to have an application that is run off a web client, you can do that as well. And in fact, you can have both open at the same time. And a lot of people I know do that because they keep sort of like a scheduling calendar in the web client and they process their work in Microsoft Outlook. So I'm going to jump into the the marketing folder now, and we'll get started. So actually, before I do that, you can see here that I've got a number of different folders within CRM. I've got a workplace, sales, marketing, service, settings, and a resource center. Each of these corresponds, you could think of them almost as modules within CRM. However, the modules, there are no extra modules to buy. When you buy CRM, this is what you get, regardless of the version that you buy. I wanted to just touch on the Resource Center. If you're new to CRM, this is a very powerful tool or feature that Microsoft has provided, as it's essentially it's a live help center. So you can actually have a look at videos, you can request support. It's a good way to get and access the CRM community if you get stuck or if you get lost. You can also amend that. If you need to add your own videos because you've got customizations in your system, you can do that as well. So where I'm going to be spending most of my time today is in the marketing area. Just prior to doing that, I want to touch on the workplace just for a second so you get some idea of how the system works. So what I'm going to show you right now is how activities are assigned to me by the system as a user of CRM. So this is one way that we can get our activities. And you can see here that I've got an email with a quote review pending. I've got a number of different tasks here that we can look at that are assigned to me as an individual. Everybody in the company who uses CRM would also have their own activities assigned to them. You can almost think of CRM as a big, to-do list that's combined and used by a lot of people. That's certainly one aspect of CRM that's incredibly powerful. You can see there's a lot of other features here. There's a dashboard. The dashboard is quite powerful and it's very configurable. Every user can have their own dashboard, and you can essentially, if you have the data within CRM, you can put it on a dashboard and review it. So in this case, I'm looking at a marketing dashboard, but I have quite a wide and varied selection of other dashboards I could choose. So specifically for the marketing dashboard, you can see I've got 5 campaigns that I'm working on: advertisement type, direct marketing, event, and if I expand it, you can actually see the, all the rest of the items that I'm tracking within my dashboard. The other thing I've got is a campaign budget versus actual cost by fiscal year, and you can see for Q1, it's pretty much bang on for my my costs and my budget. For 2, thus far my costs are a little less than what I'm budgeted at this time. Down here I've got my leads by source campaign, so I've got 5 different campaigns running, and then all of these are also click-through. So if I want to have a look at my direct marketing campaign, I can click on that and I can actually drill down and see additional data types if I want to. If I want to see the data that this is being created by, I can click on this button and then you'll get a list of the records that are the base of this particular chart. And over here I've got my revenue generated by campaigns. A little bit farther down the dashboard, you can see I've again got my personal activities. This is a nice view for managing activities. And then below that, I've got just a standard listing of my campaigns that are either proposed or active at this time. So I'm going to go over into the marketing folder now, and we're going to explore that a little bit. So I'm just going to expand that. And you can see within marketing there's a number of areas of subfolders that we want to have a look at. So there's leads, accounts, contacts, marketing lists, campaigns, product sales letters or quick campaigns, and so on. Now some of these folders are also available in other, some of these subfolders are also available in other folders, such as sales would have leads and accounts and contacts as well. But for marketing purposes, these are pretty much all the things you're going to need to conduct most marketing activities within CRM. So the first thing I'm going to touch on is my marketing lists. As I said in my introduction, marketing lists are incredibly powerful, and the reason they're so powerful is because you can actually use them to segment your market in a lot of very interesting ways. So what I've got here is 5 different marketing lists that I'm using. I've got a business decision maker list, I've got commercial photographers, health and imaging verticals, I have retail purchasers who are a function, so I'm talking about an individual purchasing person who has that role in a retail establishment. And then I also have listed product interest, and in this case I've got X-ray cameras. The one thing I'd like to point out to you is that I've got 2 different types of marketing lists. I've got a dynamic list, and in a dynamic list, what you do instead of actually adding individual names to the list, it's smart enough once you set up the query that it will automatically refresh the list based upon criteria that you set in your query. So what I mean by that is if I click up here on the Manage Members button, then I can create a very simple query, and in this case what I've created is just something that says, okay, give me a list of all job titles that contain the word president, a VP, owner, CEO. We obviously could put more in there, and there's other things we could do to make it a more robust query. But in this case, anytime anybody in the company adds a contact and the job title in that contact contains any of those 4 words, that individual is automatically associated with this marketing list the next time the list is used. So in order to use the list, you actually have to fire up, the query gets fired up automatically. So very handy. So I use it for things like business decision makers, business owners, and obviously you can do it on any field that's within the contact record. I don't have to use job titles. This is just one I actually use in real life, so I thought you might want to see it. If I use the query, it just pulls up a list of contacts, and like I say, those contacts have that job role, at least one of them. So it's a very good way to figure out who your business decision makers are. Hopefully there's some marketers out there drooling over this, because I was really excited when I first set this one up. Our other marketing lists are static lists, and what we use them for is not only do we qualify our leads and our contacts in a normal sales function, but what we also like to do is set up our various records so that they can be members of one or more of these marketing lists. And then what we do is we just have a simple keep warm marketing strategy, and what that really comes down to is our marketing coordinator sends out interesting articles that are germane to each of these particular segments of our market. And we do that for a lot of reasons. I mean, most people do not have nearly enough contacts in their CRM, and if they just do a blast email out to all their contacts or all their leads on every single thing, they're going to burn out their contact list very quickly, and they're going to get a lot of unsubscribe requests, it's just not good management techniques for using a mailing contact list. So that's a marketing list, and as you saw, we've got a number of members in each marketing list, and what I'm going to do now is jump over to campaigns, and I'm going to show you campaign, and I'm just going to create a campaign here, and we're going to set up a very simple one that's going to manage the trade show event. So in here, we've got a number of different templates that are already created for you when you fire up Microsoft CRM. So the one I'm interested in today is the event campaign template, and you can see that it is set up as a template for the purposes of this demo. So if I open that up, what this template gives us is a lot of pre-configured aspects have been done. So the idea is that if you go to a trade show every year, and every year you have to do a certain set of things in order to have that trade show happen successfully. Things like, create new marketing materials such as brochures, book the trade show booth, etc., etc. That can all be done from within the planning activities of the marketing campaign. And you can see this is a template. So these are the items that have been thrown in our template. And when I go ahead and create a new campaign, then you'll be able to see that all these planning activities come across. So as you do your lessons learned, you add additional activities, and every year, in theory, your campaign should get better and better as you have all these different lessons learned. The campaign itself has a number of really nice features, I think. One of the things I want to highlight is this is how you track your financials within a campaign for marketing. So you can see here that I've got a financial section, and I have a budget allocated of $10,000. I can put in miscellaneous costs, hotels and taxis and that sort of stuff. I can put that in there. And then as I generate additional accounting activities, there's a cost field for each of those activities, and that gets added to this budget. And then there's a summary report we can create that will give us a cost, an ROI, cost per contact, that kind of information. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go back up to the Campaign General tab, and I'm going to copy this as a campaign, because like I say, this is a template at the moment. So I'll copy this as a campaign. I'll just discard my changes so I don't screw up my template. Now I've got my campaign created. I'm just going to change the name. I'm going to call it Photography Trade Show. And I'll save it. You can see it's set. The status is set to proposed. There's a number of different statuses you can change depending on where you're at in your marketing planning process. This campaign type is an event, but there's a number of different campaign types, and everything you see on the screen here can be customized. So if you need to change the labels, if you need to add additional drop-downs, it's a very straightforward process to do that. We can put a standard offer in here, and I'm just going to call it Trade Show Invitation. Oops, there we go. We'll set a proposed begin date. So this is the proposed sort of when are we going to start planning for this thing? So I'll say we started planning for it on the 1st of May, and we're going to have it all wrapped up and everybody followed up and the leads all qualified by the end of June. The actual begin date, we can put one of those in as well, and we'll kill that the 1st as well. So, and then we can put in a description, of course. So if I click on Save now, what I've just created is a sort of a holding area for all marketing activities that pertain to this particular trade show. So if we take a look at my planning activities, you can see they're still set up here. These have been copied over from the template. So I've got to book a trade show booth, develop content, and these are all just coming up as tasks that I can either keep for myself or I can assign to the responsible party who needs to do this work. And I showed you the activities list already, so they would get this as an activity. We can set a due date. Let's say we had to have it done by the 11th, and so on. We can put some details in there. We can link this to old copy. There's a lot of stuff we can do with it. So I'll mark it as saved and closed, and then I'll mark another one of these as book trade show booth, and I'm just going to say that I've completed that one. This will show up later on in the report, is why I'm filling these out right now. So let's close that off. And you can see here that I've also got two other items called campaign activities. So what I'm going to do now is, instead of managing them from within the planning activities, I'm going to go to the campaign activities area, and I'm going to actually send out an invitation to a trade show using email and mail merge. So I go to my trade show invitation, open that up, and you can see it's pre-populated with a lot of information already to keep this fast and simple and cheap for everybody. The parent campaign is set up as the photography trade show. The channel is email via mail merge. I've just called it the trade show invitation, and it's an invitation to the trade show is the description. So I can set a scheduled start. So I want to advertise about 2 weeks before the event. And my scheduled end, I want it all done and out of my hair by about the 3rd. Budget allocated is $500, and because I actually did have to send this out because I was using a bulk email provider, and they charged me for it, I'm going to say it was $350. And I'll save that. One of the items I haven't done yet, though, for this particular campaign, and is I haven't actually allocated or assigned my marketing lists. So what I'm going to do here is click on Target Marketing Lists. Showed you marketing lists already. These are the same marketing lists that we've always had. So I'm just going to add some existing marketing lists to this. So this is a commercial photographers and a retail purchasers type of trade show. So I'm going to do that, and you just never know with business decision makers who's going to show up and who isn't. So I'm going to click Add, put all three of these marketing lists in here. And you can see when I did that, this is why it's so nice to have these templates, is you can change your marketing list, but you can keep the same template. And what it's doing is, because I've already created my campaign activities, it's asking, do we want to add the marketing list to open undistributed campaign activities, such as that trade show invitation email that I showed you a minute ago. So if I do, I'm just going to click OK. So now those marketing lists are going to be used on any activity that's outbound from this particular marketing campaign. So I'm going to hop back to the campaign activities. Now I'm going to open up my trade show invitation one more time, because now it actually has marketing lists. If I hadn't done this and I attempted to actually send or distribute this campaign activity, it would have stopped me and it would have said you don't have any marketing lists. So I'm going to click on Distribute Campaign Activity. I'm just going to start with a simple mail merge template. And you can build these and access these as much as you want. So I'm going to use the marketing event notification template. Then I'm going to click on OK. Before I do that, though, I'll show you this. So you can access pretty much any data field you want in a mail merge function. So I don't have to just merge with fields in contact records and lead records. I can merge with fields in product records. I can merge with invoice records. Anything that's in the CRM you can have access to, and you can mail merge on those items. I'm going to click OK. What it's going to do is fire up Microsoft Word and activate the mail merge function. You can see over here it's flashing and telling me it's doing so. And what we've got is a list of who this invitation is going out to, which of course is just the sum total of everybody that's on both marketing lists. You can see here I've got one duplicate for some reason. That probably means that I've copied it over twice, because it does actually check and usually it eliminates all duplicates. So I suspect I've actually got 2 contact records, because I was doing some importing last night to set this up today. So if I click OK, I've got a very standard template. These are obviously changeable, and they're all in Word anyway. So you can see here that I've got user first name, last name, some other fields. You can throw in whatever you want here. So in this case, we're excited to inform you that our company will take part in the Industry Expo and so on and so forth. Again, the really nice thing is it's repeatable. So you go in, you make the template the first time, or you use the canned Microsoft template and tweak it up. And then you store that as a separate template, and you can use it again next year. So you can see here that what we've got now is the first one's going to Ryan Mullaney at Assistus, and it's from me, I should say, and it's being addressed to Sydney Higa, and it's just a standard template. And I can review as many of these other recipients as I want, make sure that I've got the spelling right and whatever else. If you have any critical contacts you want to have a look at, the next thing I can do is click Complete the Merge. Now you can see here in Complete the Merge, I've got upload the template to CRM. So if this was a template like a new one that I just created from a blank document, I'd probably want to do that. Obviously all these fields, you saw how easy it was to use them. To actually add the fields is just a matter of clicking it from a list. In this case, I'm not going to upload the template. I'm just going to send the email. And you can see here that I've got subject line. I'm going to put in trade show invitation. Really important that you put that in there, because if you don't, the emails go out with a blank subject line, which really doesn't work in most cases. Now if I hit OK, it's actually going to do a mail merge and create an email from each one of these letters. Just to save a little bit of time, I'm only going to do the current record. If I click OK, you can see now that it's actually, well, it's going to move to one more screen here, and it's asking me if I want to track this invitation against, or as an activity within CRM against the records that I'm building these merges against, and I do. It also automatically includes an unsubscribe link, and we'll call it click to unsubscribe. We can also add attachments if we need to. In this case, I'm not going to bother. Click OK. And what it's doing now is it's conducting the mail merge, and in a second it's actually going to send this as an Outlook email right from within your Outlook account. And we're done. And you can see it's telling me that the activities were created successfully. So what just happened there? What I did is I just created a campaign activity. So I'm going to save and close that. I'm going to close out of Word now. Oops, hit the wrong button. I'm not going to save the changes, and now I'm back to having sent out some outbound activities. So the next item that I want to do, because of course once you send out the activities, you're kind of waiting eagerly for your responses to see what happens, and that's all tracked from campaign responses. So when this email showed up, I'm going to show you because I've got it in my Outlook here. I should have anyway. Looks like it's going to come in just a second here. What will happen is when these emails show up, is you will be able to, pardon me, if your customer or your target responds to that email, then that's going to be tracked literally right within the campaign as a campaign response. Let me just open this back up. So you can see right now I have no campaign responses. So I'm just going to create one, but bear in mind that if they reply to that email, it comes back automatically as a campaign response, and this form is filled out at that time. So I'm going to say, we'll be at trade show on Tuesday. And I'm just going to say it's an existing customer, and we'll set it as a contact. We'll make it Adrian since he's at the top of the list. One really nice thing about this is that if you get multiple responses from the same customer and they're new, you can still track them all, but you have the ability to copy the campaign response. So I can make a second one if I want to, and a third and a fourth, and whatever I need to do there. So I'm just going to track the one for now. And you can see here that I've got a campaign response. So what's going on right now is you can see that we're kind of working our way through that chart I showed you, and we're I'll just jump back to that for a second here. And you can see, if you take a look here, is that what we've done is we've got our suspects sorted out, we've created our outbound activities, and now we're actually getting our responses back, so our interested responses. And then the next step, of course, is we can track who actually attended the event. So I'm going to switch back now to the CRM demo. And what we can do now is we can actually, let's assume that Adrian attended the event. You know, we got some information, and he was very interested to see that. What I can do now is I can actually start passing this over to sales and qualifying this as a lead. The way I do that is I can convert my campaign response, and I can set it to create a new lead. I can also convert an existing lead if I've set up a bunch and I'm just doing some nurture marketing on these leads. Or if this was a new customer, I could create, if this was a current customer, I can create a new record for this customer and set it up as a quote, an order, or an opportunity. In this case, because we're dealing specifically with just marketing today, I'm going to leave it as a lead record because that's primarily within the marketing domain. So I'm going to create a new lead, and I'm going to open the newly created record. And you can see that I have this lead, and some interesting things happen in the background using workflow. So if I click on the workflow now, you can see that I've got two workflows that are running, and these are again fairly simple to set up and configure. The first one that I wanted to have a look at is the lead scoring workflow. So we've got a lead here that we can actually score based on it up to, you know, add additional fields. So if you have some kind of a lead qualification process, like a BANT process or something along those lines, that's available, and you can actually use this particular workflow to start qualifying yourself for that particular lead. So what you can see here is that I've got some workflow. So we initialize the score, we check the address. If the lead has a proper address, then we increase the lead score by 15. If there's contact information, the phone data is available, then we increase by 20. If mobile phone, then we can increase that by 20, and so on and so forth. So, you know, you can put whatever fields you want in here to validate. So if you need to, so if we go down here and we have a look, you can see here that for this particular example, we need to have to check the number of employees. If it's less than 50, then we increment by 5. If there's 100 employees, it's by 10, and so on and so forth. So any of you that do lead scoring or want to do lead scoring, this isn't a bad approach. And again, down here we've got an annual revenue lead scoring factor as well. In addition to that, we also have a lead routing workflow that we can kick in a little later, but essentially what it does is it assigns, in this case we've got a number of different sales reps based upon sales regions, and we can you know, check to see if the source is from internet marketing, or if it's actually, in this case it's a state, and then we can assign it to a particular sales territory. If there's no answers there, then we can also assign the lead to the unassigned leads queue, in which case the sales managers get to fight over who gets the lead, I suppose. All right. Any questions thus far? Okay. So we're going to keep going here. That was the campaign response and the lead qualification. Another item I wanted to show you as we're going through this, though, is that there's an additional item that you can use to qualify your leads. Just give me a second here to save and close that. I'm going to jump back into a lead now. So let's assume that we're still in the midst of the qualification process. I'm going to open this lead back up. One of the things that I can do to further qualify this lead is I can pass this off to another marketer, and that person can actually activate a dialogue. And that dialogue, you can have as many dialogues as you want. In this case, there's only the one. We can do a lead qualification process. And what this is a series of questions that is interactive. It's smart enough so that if you can skip steps if the questions are answered in a certain way. So if, you know, somebody isn't interested in a particular product, we can skip to the end or whatever we need to do. The other nice thing is that this will actually populate data into the record, and it can also pull information out of the CRM database. So if I wanted to put in an email, I can put in, John at test.co. I can put in a business number. I'm not going to put in a home phone number, but let's say I've got a mobile phone number. I can keep going down. I've got a website. Job titles, president. This is a good one to filter on as well when you're doing your lead scoring, of course. I'll put in an address, and then I'll put in a city as well. What do we want? Let's try Boston. And you can see here that I've got some comment fields where I can do a what else can I help you with, and so on and so forth. Now if I click next and then I close this off by clicking finish, what will happen is this will populate once I refresh this particular screen. And you'll see where there was a blank lead score. You'll now have a lead score that'll be calculated. It just takes an extra second to do that sometimes. Okay. Not sure why the lead score is not working right now. It certainly worked in the tests, of course, but perhaps I did something wrong by closing it and then opening it again. I see we have a question, Stacy. Are you able to take that right now? It's a good spot.
Yeah, the question, we just have somebody who wanted to know when the presentation will be available. She's saying you make it look really easy, and she, I think, would like to just take a look at it on her own as well.
Oh, absolutely. We should, I mean, I guess that's up to you, Stacey. We should have it up right away, though. It's being recorded right now, so.
Absolutely.
Certainly within a day.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Great. Thanks for the question. Again, any others, I absolutely welcome them.
Oh, we do have, sorry, one more. We have Brian who has his hand up. So let me just unmute you for a second, Brian. Okay, go ahead and ask your question.
Brian, I'm just wondering if we can run this program, or the sample database, in conjunction with the current 2010 version or 4.0. Yeah, I'd like to start working with it and figuring it out before we commit across the board.
Yeah, the least painful way of doing that, Brian, is probably to go to CRM Online. So just search for Microsoft CRM Online and set up a 30-day trial version.
Okay, and that won't bother up 4.0?
No, they're completely separate. So this trial version is hosted by Microsoft in a data center somewhere near Chicago. You can use it. It doesn't cost you anything. They don't even ask for a credit card. They want your name and your email, and that's it. You will get a couple of marketing messages saying, encouraging you to activate, but there's no obligation whatsoever.
Okay.
In fact, that's exactly what I'm running right now. Is on a 30-day trial.
Thank you very much. And not worthy of my boss's trust if I didn't ask you if you need a display for this trade show that you're planning.
Actually, I already have one of your displays, Brian. Little plug for the portables and exhibited there.
Had to get it in there.
Okay. So unless there's other questions, thanks, Brian. Unless there's other questions, let's press on.
Okay, I think that looks like everything.
Okay. All right. So that was a method. So what I've done here is a very, very simple and fast. I understand that, and I guess I'm supposed to make it look simple. But what I'm trying to do here is show you, I'm just going to X out of this. What I'm trying to do is show you how you can identify a campaign or a marketing process, and you can use the tools that are built into CRM to do that, basically natively from the system. Anything that you saw as far as the lead qualification workflow goes, that is special workflow. Very easy for you, if you want a copy of it, I'll be quite happy to send it to you. It's just a proof of concept workflow. However, if you want to do it on your own, it means you do have to know how to import a customization and do a few other things. So there is a little bit of work involved. You might need to get a system administrator, or if you're not technical, get a technical person to help you with it. It does come with instructions, though. What I'd like to do now is just go quickly back to my PowerPoint presentation. Yeah, we'll go back to my PowerPoint presentation. And you can see here, I'm just going to scooch this forward a couple. So, in conclusion, I really believe that the marketing module is one of the best kept secrets of the product. We've been using it extensively at Assistus for quite a while now. And one of the items that we've really found, the number of leads that we can track and process, and we can experiment and say, did this work? No, we only got a 2% conversion. Did this work? Yeah. We got a really tight target. We got a really tight message for that target marketing list, and our conversion rate is, right around 12–14%, which, if you're a marketer, is a pretty darn good conversion rate. We get a little disappointed now if our conversion rate isn't at least 10% for emails. I also want to stress that there are no additional modules to buy. This is built right into CRM, any version that you have right now. Everything I showed you today can be done from within CRM 4.0 or CRM 2011. It aligns with standard marketing methodologies, as I showed you. It's flexible, it's very customizable, and I want to stress that it works in the Outlook or the web client. Now, a couple of example costs, because everybody wants to know. The CRM online monthly subscription is $51 per user. If you want to use the CRM branded CRM online, like their cloud services, then you need a minimum of 5 users. If you have less than that, then there are other options that we could explore. We do have implementation packages available at a fixed fee, depending on what you're looking for, how big you are, how much customization you need, and so on and so forth. And that's it. Any final questions? I think I got you out of here pretty much on time. If you have any questions, just raise your hand or send us a text. And if not, then Stacy will be sending you a follow-up email, believe it or not. And she'll also send you a link to the YouTube video of this presentation, and that, as we already said, should be up within a day or so. Okay, I'd like to thank you all for your time, and look forward to seeing you at our next webinar. We're trying to run these about every week, and we're going to cover off different aspects of CRM. So this one's marketing, the next one will likely be sales, customer service, and then we'll do a general CRM, sort of how to customize and configure a CRM. So again, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and attention, and we'll talk to you next time. Take care.